Today's video is dedicated to Samina. She came up with the idea to do a cozy yoga stretch. So grab your favorite beverage, put on your comfy clothes, and let's stretch out today. Make your way to your yoga mat. Adjust it as needed. Adjust yourself as needed. I'm just wearing some cotton leggings with an old pair of low-rider sweatpants. Slowly lower down one vertebrae at a time. Extend your arms up and take a full body stretch. Point and flex your toes a few times. Draw your hands to heart center, draw your chin down and back, and set an intention for today's yoga practice and that you can come back to throughout your day. Inhale, lift your arms up. Exhale, lower them down by your sides. Repeat this movement a couple of times at your own breath's pace. Draw your right knee in, hands to frame the knee. Lift the arms up, lower the leg. Draw your left knee in. Lift the arms up, lower the leg. Go slow. One breath with one movement. It can be so easy to rush through your yoga practice, but I invite you to just slow down. Just keep coming back to dialing things down a notch. Next time your right knee bends in, clasp your hands behind your leg and lift and lower the leg. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, lower down. Next time the leg lifts, pause and circle your ankle in one direction. Notice that you have a generous bend in your knee. Circle your ankle in the opposite direction. No need to overextend things. Flex your foot. Breathe deeply. Draw your chin down and back. And see if you can straighten out the leg just a little bit more. Find your edge. Sensation, but never pain. Breathe in and breathe out. On your next breath, lower the leg down. Draw the left knee in, clasp your hands behind the left thigh, and lift and lower your foot. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, lower down. Notice that your right ankle is flexed. Point all 5 toes towards the ceiling. Next time the left leg lifts, pause and circle your ankle in one direction. Notice if this side feels any different from the other side. If it's a little bit tighter, you can place a bend in that right knee, but if not, keep the right leg extended long and feel the stretch. Flex your ankles. Keep a generous bend in your left knee. Now straighten it out just a little bit more. Just a little more. Okay, right there. Draw your chin down and back. Soften the muscles in your face, around your eyes, around your jaw. And then lower the foot down and lift your arms up overhead and take another full body stretch. Wiggle from side to side just a bit. Lower your arms down along your sides. Place a bend in your knees. Draw your hands to face one another. Inhale, lift the hips up, lower them down, lift and lower just a few times. Movement before stillness. Next time your hips lift up, pause. Notice that your feet don't creep into one another. Squeeze your glutes. Draw your low belly in and up. Breathe in through your nose and out through your mouth. Focus your attention on the right here and the right now. It can be easy for the mind to wander. If that's happening to you, just keep gently guiding it back to the space. Inhale through the nose, exhale through your mouth. Last seconds in this pose. Lower down, extend your legs long, lift the arms up overhead, point your toes. Place your arms in the goalpost position. Step your feet to the wide edge of the mat. pinky toes to graze the floor. Lower your knees towards the right, take your gaze to the left, and then lower your knees towards the left and take your gaze to the right. Windshield wipe out your hips just a couple of times. Next time your knees lower to the right, pause. Pick up your right foot and place it just above the left knee. Take your gaze either to the neutral position, or you can take your gaze to the left, whatever feels best in your body. Remember, this is your yoga practice. You don't need to look like me or your neighbor. You are exactly where you need to be today. You need to look like you. Inhale, exhale. Inhale and exhale. Release the bind of the foot and then lower your knees towards the left. Pick up your left foot and place it just above the right knee. If you decided to look in one direction, take your gaze towards the right. But if not, just rest your neck in the neutral position. Close your eyes and create space between the top and bottom rows of teeth. What do I mean by that? Don't clench your teeth together. Create space in them. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Last seconds of this posture. Release the bind of the foot, and the easiest way for you, come to a comfortable seated position. Extend your legs long, and then draw all four corners of your right foot into your left thigh. Flex your ankle, lift your arms up overhead, and hip hinge forward. Now, if you want to bring the floor a little bit closer to you, I invite you to grab your blocks or your pillow at this time. No crunch in that upper back. I want a long spine, so hip hinge forward, flex your ankle, and breathe. Now, your nose may not be touching your shin today, and that's completely okay. Meet yourself where you're at. I would rather have you have a long, straight, lengthened out spine over a crunched forward spine because you're just coming closer to the floor. Notice how the difference between keeping your spine straight and crunched. Flex your ankles. Create space in your toes. Draw your low belly in and up. And come back to the words of your intention. Repeat them softly to yourself. Step the feet to the wide edge of the mat and take a seated windshield wipe. Lower your knees to the right and left just a few times. Move slowly. No need to rush through this yoga practice. On your next breath, extend your legs long and firmly press all four corners of the left foot into the right thigh. Flex your right ankle, grab your blocks or pillow. Now, my left side is a little bit tighter, so I'm bringing the floor closer to me by placing a pillow under my left knee. If your left knee is floating in the air, you can bring a pillow also for yourself. You can let it dangle, just whatever feels best in your body. Remember, yoga isn't about just putting yourself into shapes. It's about just showing up and making time for you. Remember, sometimes the hardest part can just be rolling out your yoga mat. So the most important thing is you're here and you're making time to create a little bit of space in your body. And remember, things will open up over time. So come just a little bit more forward, flex your ankle, and smile to yourself softly. Extend out the left leg. Remove your props. Shake your feet from side to side. Extend out both legs long. Hip hinge forward. Bend and straighten your elbows a couple of times. Find the block setting that works best for you. Create space in your toes. Notice that there's a micro bend in your knee. No need to completely lengthen out your legs. It's okay to have a little bit of a bend in your knee. Hip hinge forward. Soften the muscles in your face. And breathe deeply. Release the pose, and the easiest way for you, come to hands and knees. Knees hip width distance apart. Hands shoulder width distance apart. Press your big toes together, knees to the wide edge of the mat. Sit the hips back onto the heels, but not to stay. Return to hands and knees. Set this into motion a couple of times. Remember, movement before stillness. This is a morning routine, so I don't want to get you too comfy because you probably have to start your day. You may be headed off to work or chasing the little ones, but you probably want to get out of bed. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, lift up slowly. Keep your core tight, tucked, and engaged. Now, notice that the feet are hip width distance apart. Extend your right leg long and step it between your hands. Place the blocks in to frame the foot. Hip hinge slightly forward and rest the top of the left foot onto the ground. So no need to curl your toes unless, of course, you're experiencing discomfort. And notice that you're not necessarily resting on the left knee. You should be kind of above the left knee. And if you're not quite there, just scoot a little bit more forward. You can adjust your front foot too and your back foot. You can kind of just scooch yourself into alignment. Your foot should be in line with your knee. Extend the right leg long. Flex your right ankle. Toes towards your nose. I want you to envision your toes coming a little bit closer to you. Keep a micro bend in the right knee and bring those toes just a little bit closer. Come on, you can do it. Draw your low belly in and up. Squeeze your shoulder blades together and breathe through this pose. Inhale and exhale. Now, with your right hand, clasp onto your left leg, and you can take your gaze either towards your right or down at the floor, wherever you find balance in your body. Breathe in and breathe out. Breathe in and breathe out. Release your foot. Don't let it smack down onto the floor. Remove your props and set up for the opposite side. Come to hands and knees. Extend your left leg long. Flex your foot and step it in between your hands. Grab your blocks to frame your foot. You've been here before. Hinge forward. Scoot that right leg back. And rest the top of the right foot onto the mat. See if you're putting a lot of pressure onto your knee or if you're coming forward. Draw your core in, navel towards your spine. Squeeze your shoulder blades together and close your eyes. Feel the stretch in your legs. Notice how one side may feel different from the other. You're not passing judgment. You're just collecting data, acknowledging things. Extend the left leg long. Readjust your props if you're using them today. Flex your left foot. Bring those toes a little bit closer towards your face. Bend them a little bit more. A little bit closer. Find your edge. Remember, sensation, not pain. Close your eyes and breathe deeply. On your next breath, place a bend in your knee, remove your blocks to the side, and clasp on to your right foot with your left hand. You can take your gaze upward, down at your mat, whatever feels comfortable in your neck. And remember, if it's too much to create the bind, you don't need to do so. Just rest the top of that right foot onto the mat beneath you. Slowly lower the foot down. No need to race out of this pose. Move your blocks out of the way. And the easiest way for you, step the feet back, begin to pedal out the legs, firmly press into the hands. Take up lots of space on your mat. Place a bend in your knees. Lengthen out your spine, come forward. Walk the feet a little bit closer to your hands. Feet should be hip-width distance apart. Press your hands into your shins, flat back stretch. Inhale and exhale. Lower down towards the ground. Let your head hang heavy. Kind of shake it out a few times. Left to right. Now clasp your hands up behind your back and lower your hands towards the ground. If they're clear in the air, that is completely okay. But if you're double jointed and you can lower them all the way down and are extremely flexible, good for you too. Lower the hands down. Firmly press the hands into the mat. Step the feet back. And lower all the way down onto your belly. No need to rush, you'll get there. Place a bend in your elbows. Keep your gaze forward. Close your eyes. Notice that the tops of the feet are rested down into the yoga mat. Take just a couple of moments. Lower the head down, place the arms in the goalpost position, and drag your right knee up towards your right elbow. Take your gaze to the right. Soften the low belly and breathe deeply. Extend the right leg long to meet the left. Turn your gaze towards your left and then drag your left knee up towards your left elbow. You've been here before, so soften into this posture. Lengthen the left leg long to meet the right. Slowly take your gaze towards your center. Lift your arms, straighten the arms out. Rest the tops of the feet onto the mat. And you're taking that full body stretch, but on your belly. Notice how this feels differently on your belly compared to your back. How often do you do this? How does your spine feel? Draw your hands near your shoulders, press into the mat, and come to hands and knees. Notice that your knees are hip-width distance apart, hands shoulder-width distance apart. Lift the right hand and thread it through. Rest the right shoulder onto the ground. Now don't have your feet crash into one another. They should remain hip-width distance apart, so gently guide them back. Take that left hand and extend it out long, but if it doesn't feel good to extend it long, you can gently rest it near your shoulder. So close your eyes and feel the stretch in your upper back, the twist. Can you go a little bit deeper? On your next breath, return to hands and knees. Lift the left arm and thread it through the right. Let the left shoulder rest onto the mat and extend your right hand forward. Remember, if it doesn't feel good to extend that right hand long, you can move the hand down towards your shoulder. This is your yoga practice, so you need to do what feels best for you. Release the pose, return to hands and knees, press the big toes together, separate the knees to the wide edge of the mat, sit onto the heels, extend the arms forward, place your hands in a prayer position and bend the elbows. Walk your elbows just a little bit more forward in order to open up your upper back. Soften the muscles in your face and relax the forehead into the ground. Breathe in through your nose and out through your mouth. Release the wide-legged child's pose and make your way over to a wall. Yep, you heard me right, the wall. So scoot your tush up towards the wall, lengthen the legs out long, and it may take a second to get here, so just scooch, 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 walk it up slowly. You can be anywhere. You can use a door, a couch, a small child. And then clasp your hands up overhead. Flex your ankles. Notice how the stretch feels in your legs, your upper back. Turn your head from side to side. And my voice is going to go away for a few minutes to allow you to draw your awareness inward. Bring your mind back to the present moment, and then slowly place a bend in your knees. Turn to one side, and then make your way to a comfortable seated position. Sit up tall. Roll your shoulders back and lift your arms up towards the ceiling to take another body good morning stretch. Clasp those hands together. Flip your palms upward. Breathe in. Lower the hands down. Place them to heart center. And always, always commend yourself for making time for you. Thanks again, Samina, for this suggestion. I hope you have an awesome day. And if anyone else wants me to dedicate a video to you, just please let me know what kind of video you'd like to see in the comments below. Thanks, and have an awesome day.